everybody. I think I am going. Yep. All right. Good morning, everybody. Two Turtle Gardens. It's Rob here, and I'm just showing you some of the equipment I got ready. Of course, I'm anxious to get going. I'm not going to be using these cups this year. I found another one. These are like 24-ounce cups. This is what you want right here. 32-ounce cups. So this is going to give me the advantage. I think I'm going to start some of the watermelon, about 4 of them. I'll probably take the Sugar Baby. Might be this one right here. Now this one here I got at Home Hardware, but here in Canada, Ontario, and it doesn't say if it's a bush variety or the normal wandering type, but they were very inexpensive, and so it's a 75 days roughly about. But my experience with these watermelons, it could be anywhere from 75 to 90. That's at the ballpark. So this is a good watermelon like to eat, and either the bush or the vine variety, like the long ones. I'm not sure which ones these are, but we're going to find out. We'll plant them out and I'll let you know. Really inexpensive. But anyway, these cups here are 32-ounce cups. And I've got a couple over here, and I'll show you in a minute, that I've wrapped up with coffee containers to keep the light out. Now when I germinate them, I'm just going to put them on the seed mat. Now, where is my seed mat? I got a seed mat around here. There they are. 2 of them there. And when I put them on, I'm going to put them in the cup just like that, bottom down. Of course, I'll drill the holes first because you want water to come out. And then what will happen is once they germinate, I'm going to cover them. And I'll show you what I have been working on to make a cover. All right, I'm back again. Now, once these get germinated, I'm going to put them in this greenhouse, which is just a clear basket. But what I'll do is I'll put the container in there like that. And see, I got a lip. I've kind of conformed it, and I duct taped it. Duct tape fixes everything, right? So that's going to sit in there, and that's going to prevent the light from coming in the side that can damage the roots and cause all kinds of issues. And this is going to give me about 8 weeks to leave this watermelon inside this greenhouse and bring it in at night when it gets a little too cold. So I'm kind of cheating. I'm going to try with just 4, and that's going to be the Sugar Baby, the 75-day variety. And if we can get this in the ground for June 1st, we'll have like a head start, I think. You don't want to put the watermelon in the ground too early, because what will happen is it'll simply just fail. The roots will get paralyzed there from the cold, because you need about 75 degrees Fahrenheit or 22, 3, 4 degrees Celsius. So in April, it doesn't get too warm up here in Canada. So what I have to do is I have to put it inside this little thing here, this little box, and I'm going to put, well, I only need 4, so I'll probably use one of the smaller ones, maybe that one. And I'm going to start in that way, and I think I'm going to start on April 1st with 4 and just leave them like that and see how they do. And that's my plans, and then the rest are just going to go in as usual, but they're going to be in these big cups, these huge cups. 32 ounce, I love them. But unfortunately, I couldn't get the red ones, which are already coated, but I am on the lookout for them for next year. Well, if anybody knows me, I always say that I'm not going to grow as many watermelons next year. But it's a hobby, and it's kind of addictive, and it's challenging. Every year is challenging. So I'm going to show you some of the varieties I'm planning on maybe putting in the garden. We'll see how they go. This is the Sweet Wilson, guys. Okay, this is yeah. So this one here I grew last year. I got only 2 fruits. The fruit inside is really red, like they say it is. I find it's not as firm as some of the other varieties, but not too bad. And I would say give it a shot. The vines on that one, though, they go all over the place. They are crazy, crazy, crazy. And then, of course, there's the Sugar Baby watermelon, which I got new seed, because this is probably 5 years old, believe it or not. So you can see that's the new seed I picked up yesterday when I picked up a few other things for the garden. I got some potting soil and stuff. Yes, I'm a little anxious like many of you out there. I'm going to try a new kind of watermelon. Well, it's new to me. The Bosman. Okay, this year is going to be the year. I bought them last year, didn't put them in. They're 70 to 80 day variety. They're developed at the university in Bozeman, Montana. And obviously for cooler climates because Montana is not exactly a tropical paradise. So you can see we're going to give that a shot. I definitely want to try that one. And of course, we're going to do the scaly bark again. This is fresh seed from Heritage Seeds, but I have some older seed from Baker Creek. And I'm going to put them in water, okay? What you do is you just fill this up with water. You put your watermelon seeds in there. And the non-viable ones, I believe, float to the top. I have to double check on that, but something like that. And the other ones just sink to the bottom. The ones that are good sink to the bottom. So that's what I'm thinking, but I'm not sure. Double check with some of the other watermelon growers. And what else can I tell you? I grew the Canadian Improved last year, and you get that in the stores here in Eastern Ontario, like the Walmarts and that like that. This is a good watermelon. It's got a nice flavor. The vines are kind of crazy, but they will. The unique thing about this watermelon is that even after it's ripe, you can let it sit in the garden for a week, a week and a half, and it'll still be plenty good when you go to get it. It's kind of almost like a preserving watermelon to some extent. But nothing like the scaly bark. The scaly bark here, this one here, the scaly bark or scaly bark, whatever you want to call it. This one here will keep in the fridge for, I've had it for 2 weeks, man. So there you go. And of course, the scaly bark is my favorite because that to me tastes like cotton candy. It's, oh my God, it's so good, especially when it's chilled. All right, let's go on to the Black Diamond, which is, well, you can't see the title, but it's Black Diamond or Florida Giant, it's also called. Okay, and I grew this last year. Oh my goodness. I had 3 big fruits, and one of them actually didn't make it all the way and rotted. But the other 2 I gave to a school where I work at, to the kitchen there, and the kids absolutely enjoyed that. And I want to do that again for them. Now, I've grown Will's sugar watermelon before, but I didn't really know what I was doing, and I got mixed results. So I'm going to give this a serious try this year, I think, in the garden, and it's kind of similar. It looks to appear to be similar to that of the Sugar Baby, but we'll see, and I'll give that a shot. And I don't think I'm going to bother with the Crimson Sweet because you can buy that in the store here. That's the one they sell in the store, and I find in the store it's very bland. It's not very good. All right, so we're going to pause for a minute and we'll go on from there. Well, I'm back, and I've got a variety of watermelon here that I have grown, and it's really a tough watermelon. It's an amazing watermelon, guys. This is called the Blacktail Mountain, okay? And this watermelon is about a 70-day variety. And the weird thing about this is that you can plant it in July, and you'll have watermelon in September, or maybe middle of September. And one year I harvested, not last year, but the year before, I had a harvest of this watermelon in November. Yeah, all I did was the fruit came up and it worked really well. Like it was ripe almost. And then we are going to get some frosty nights. Obviously in November in Eastern Ontario, you're going to get frosty nights. I covered it up with a tarp and a little bit of straw and stuff around it to protect it. And it kept on going. And November the 4th, I had 2 of these watermelons, and you know what? The flavor was still very good on them, and I think I'm going to do the same thing this year. I'm going to rogue plant them in July for an October-November harvest, and I'm just going to see if I can get away with it again this year for a lark, and it should be a lot of fun. I'm not going to put them in the garden with the others. We're going to put them in the garden by themselves, and I'm going to find a little spot. And I got some cantaloupe here too, guys. You might be able to see the far north. Okay, that variety there, I'm going to start that as well fairly early. The weird thing about this one is I had July 4th, I had fruit from the far north plant, and I want to give it a go, a serious go, because if my wife and I are planning on retiring one day, we might move further north. And if we do, we're going to need a shorter variety of melons. And you know me, I love growing melons, so this might be a good shot. to give it a test. I also got the Minnesota midget somewhere, but I'm not exactly sure where. And that one's comparable to that one. But this one here was developed in 1936 at the Indian River, Saskatchewan Agriculture Facility. And it was named in 1937 far north. And it's crossbreed between many different things, but it's now a heritage variety. And I have eaten them before, and when they're ripe, they're absolutely wonderful. They're small; they'll sit in your hand, and you can just like cut them in half and then take the seeds out and then scoop them out with a spoon. They're actually a perfect lunchbox melon, if you ask me. So I might just stagger plant these things. Start out early for a July harvest, and then maybe an August harvest in September. And I don't think it'll go much further than that because the leaves on the cantaloupe plants, when there's less light, they're more susceptible to powdery mildew. So you're gonna have problems that way. Oh, here we go. We got another cantaloupe here. This is Haley's Best, I think. Not sure. Yeah, Hale's Best. Jumbo, yeah. We had one of these last year, and it grew to fruition. It was not bad. So if you want to grow a big cantaloupe, this is not a bad variety, but I don't think I'm going to dabble with this one. When Nellie and I get our retirement property and we just call our quits from the suburbs, we will have more land and we can play around a little bit more. A lot of this stuff we just donate, the watermelons and cantaloupe, to friends and charities and stuff like that. So it's all fun. And then, of course, I got this one here I had no success with last year, the Petit Gris Rene. I'll give it another try maybe, but maybe not this year. Anyway, thanks for coming along here and following me along. I'm going to be visiting your channels because I'm all ready to garden and I just don't have the weather yet. Because outside there's still a lot of snow. And it's like, February. I think we can all of us gardeners up here in the north are kind of just itching to get out and do some gardening. Anyway, thank you from Two Turtle Gardens. Gracias, amigos. Have a very nice weekend.